Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his, three's company too. Come and dance on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
We've a lovable space that needs your face, three's company too. You'll see that life is a ball again, laughter is calling for you. Down at our rendezvous,
Down at our rendezvous,
three's company too.
Hollywood Exposed. Exposing Three's Company. Their roommate mix-ups, pay battles, and long-lasting grudges behind a hilarious sitcom. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fellow fans of classic TV, thank you for joining me today in this installment of our Exposing Hollywood series. Today we're diving deep into Three's Company, that wildly popular sitcom from 1977 to 1984 that turned misunderstandings and door-slamming comedy into primetime gold. You remember it, the one about three young roommates in a Santa Monica apartment. The charming chef, Jack Tripper, played by the late John Ritter, pretending to be gay so he could live with two single women. The sensible florist, Janet Wood, Joyce DeWitt, and the bubbly, ditzy, Chrissy Snow, who was Suzanne Somers.
Hey guys, what do you see? Boiled lamb chops. Chrissy cooked dinner, right?
You got it. Well, lamb chops didn't turn out, but I mashed lots of potatoes.
No potatoes for me. I'm trying to cook.
Mr. Furley left this here this morning when he was fixing the sink.
Why? Furley doesn't need a plunger. Everything he works on goes right down the drain.
This time he did a really good job. Try it. It worked.
Oh, come on, Chrissy. Who are you kidding? Ralph Furley, when he fixes something, it turns into instant junk. He makes Roper look like Thomas Edison. Watch this. No cold water. Huh. Well, no hot. I'll be darned. Dish rinser? Incredible, Ralphie boy, I take it all back. You're beautiful. Now let's say hello to Mr. Garbage Disposal.
It was all slapstick humor, double entendres, and those nosy landlords downstairs adding to the chaos. The show ran for 8 seasons on ABC, turning out 172 episodes and becoming a cultural staple with its own catchy theme song and endless mix-ups.
What?
What? Oh, hi.
Hi.
Anything wrong?
No. I just came out to see if you were all right, and you are, so I'll just go back to my bedroom.
Why are you walking backward?
Because it's quieter that way. The noise goes away from me.
But oh man, behind all those laughs and come knock on our door vibes, there was a storm of real life drama, pay disputes, and shattered friendships, bitter feuds that lasted decades, religious outrage that nearly got the show yanked off the air, and a spotlight on Hollywood's ugly side when it came to gender inequality. Buckle up, because we're about to expose the hidden heartbreaks that almost derailed this iconic series. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Three's Company wasn't some original Hollywood brainstorm. It was actually an American remake of the British sitcom Men About the House. which had aired across the pond from 1973 to 1976. ABC execs saw the potential in adapting it for the U.S. audiences, especially after the success of shows like All in the Family that pushed boundaries with edgier topics. The premise was simple but risque for the late 70s. Jack moves in with Janet and Chrissy after a wild party mishap, but to keep their uptight landlords, the Ropers, and the late Mr. Furley from evicting them, Jack has to fake being gay. It was groundbreaking, in a way, tackling themes of sexuality, friendship, and independence at a time when TV was still pretty conservative. The pilot bombed twice before they nailed the casting. But once it hit the airwaves on March 15, 1977, it exploded.
What's there to talk over, Janet? I mean, I think you'd make a terrific roommate.
Oh, so do I.
Okay, let's ask him.
No. Before we rush into this, I think that we should add up the pluses and the minuses.
All right.
Okay. He is a great cook.
Plus.
He would be good protection for us around the house.
Plus.
He's very good looking.
Plus. Minus?
Minus. You saw the way he was looking at you in there. I know you, Chrissy. You have a very low melting point.
You're right. But with Jack, I'll be strong.
No. It will not work. You can't help yourself, Chrissy. So, I'm afraid you know what the answer's gotta be.
Yeah. You'll have to be strong enough for both of us.
By its second season, it was the #1 show in America, pulling in over 20 million viewers a week. John Ritter's physical comedy was legendary. He'd trip over furniture like a pro. And the chemistry between the trio made it feel like a quirky, pseudo-family navigating life's absurdities. But here's where the real plot twists start. The off-screen tensions that made the on-screen misunderstandings look tame. The biggest scandal revolved around Suzanne Somers, who became a breakout star as the lovable, airheaded Chrissy. Suzanne was earning $30,000 per episode by the end of her initial contract. Solid money back then, but peanuts compared to what her male co-star John Ritter was pulling at $150,000 an episode. Inspired by other TV actresses like those on Laverne and Shirley, who had successfully negotiated raises, Suzanne, with encouragement from her husband and manager, Alan Hamill, decided to push for equal pay heading into the 5th season in 1980. She wasn't just asking for a bump, she wanted the same as John, plus a piece of the show's profits. Sounds reasonable today, right? But back then, in a male-dominated industry, it was seen as outrageous. The network brass at ABC flat out refused, reportedly wanting to make an example of her to deter the women from demanding the same. They told her, John Ritter is the star, and that was that. Things escalated quickly. Suzanne started missing rehearsals and tapings, citing a back injury, but it was really a standoff. The producers isolated her, filming her scenes separately from the rest of the cast, often on a different soundstage with a stand-in. Imagine the awkwardness. The show's whole vibe was about this tight-knit roommate dynamic, but behind the scenes, they wasn't even in the same room. The feud spilled over to her co-stars. Joyce DeWitt and John Ritter felt betrayed, thinking Suzanne was putting her personal ambitions above the show's success. John reportedly took it especially hard, seeing it as a personal betrayal. He refused to work with her directly, and the cast branded her as greedy in interviews. Joyce later said the whole thing fractured their friendship, and they didn't speak for decades. Suzanne was essentially written out mid-season. Her character Christy was sent off to care for her sick mother in Fresno, and she was replaced first by cousin Cindy, who was Jenna Lee Harrison, and then by Terry, Priscilla Barnes.
Who are you?
I'm Cindy.
I replaced Suzanne Somers on Three's Company.
Oh, I'm so sorry I can't be there.
I don't care what anybody says.
She said I can stay here while she's gone.
It was a wonderful playground for every single one of us.
I like to get my boat.
It was just a blast.
She didn't say boat, did she?
No, I think she said coat.
Right.
Being cast in the role of Cindy Snow on Three's Company, it was just one of the greatest things that could have happened to me, as far as, it made my career.
Sounds like I missed a great party.
You missed a bunch of jerks.
Oh, come on, Janet. You have to learn to be more tolerant. After all, boys will be boys. Those jerks!
Suzanne's firing was brutal. She lost her role, was blackballed in Hollywood for years, and even went through arbitration, which she lost. It took her reinventing herself as a fitness guru with the Thigh Master and writing books to bounce back. And the grudges? They lingered like a bad hangover. Suzanne and Joyce didn't reconcile until 2012, over 30 years later, when they appeared together on Suzanne's talk show. As for John Ritter, the healing came just before his tragic death in 2003 from aortic dissection. Suzanne shared in interviews that they had a heartfelt phone call where he forgave her, saying, "I forgive you," and they laughed about old times. It was bittersweet closure, but it highlighted how deep the wounds ran. John had been the heart of the show, navigating the chaos with his impeccable timing, but even he couldn't escape the bitterness. Now let's talk about the external firestorm, the religious and moral backlash that had the show in hot water from day one. In the late 70s, America was still reeling from the sexual revolution, and Three's Company pushed buttons with its suggestive living arrangement. One guy shacking up with two attractive women? Conservative groups, including religious organizations like the Moral Majority, cried foul. They accused the show of promoting premarital sex and homosexuality, ironically since Jack was faking it, and immorality. Protests erupted, with some calling for boycotts and even threatening to pull ads. The national religious broadcaster slammed it as Jiggle TV, focusing on Suzanne's outfits and the show's double entendres. One episode where the roommates accidentally end up in bed together sparked outrage from church groups. ABC had to defend it, arguing it was harmless farce.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's an animal.
Hey, wait a minute, Janet. Aren't we overreacting?
You mean this is all right with you?
Of course not. The last thing we need in here is another girl.
Right.
Still.
Oh, still what?
Well, he does live here.
Yeah, well, so do we.
And he does pay a third of the rent. And that is his bedroom.
Yeah.
Hey, Janet, I don't like this any more than you do, but it is Jack's life, and we've got no right to interfere.
Okay, I suppose.
And remember, what happens between two consulting adults in the privacy of their own home?
Chrissy, that's consenting adults.
I know, but first they have to consult, otherwise they wouldn't know what they were consenting to.
You really got me there.
So, what do you say we put the whole thing out of our minds and we'll clean up the mess?
Oh, might as well. Ugh. Gee whiz.
Who do you think he's got in there with him?
I don't know, and I don't care. Do you suppose it's anyone we know? Sylvia.
Who?
Sylvia, the blonde with the sports car.
I saw her last week. She was driving around with her top down.
Well, I'll bet she was.
Hey, but wait a minute. It was his party. Why are we cleaning up the mess?
Oh, you're right. I've had enough.
And I've had enough.
And I think Jack's had enough. Let's go. All right, lover boy, rise and shine.
Get up, the party is over.
What? Oh, where's my pillow?
It's right under your head.
Where's my head?
And tell your friend to get lost.
My foot? My foot? Wait a minute, my tongue hasn't gotten up yet.
Now you listen to me, Buster. We are giving you 60 seconds to get her out of here.
And we don't want to embarrass anyone, so we're going to be in the kitchen. Come on, Janet.
Okay. 60 seconds.
Oh, I can't. honey, sweetheart, baby doll.
Not tonight, Helen. I got a headache.
Oh, boy. Mr. Roper? Mr. Roper?
Helen, you wouldn't believe what a nightmare I just had.
Mr. Roper, wake up. Come on, wake up. Hey.
Oh, my God. What have you done with Helen?
Mr. Roper,
what are you doing here?
this is my bed.
Oh, my God. How did you get me up here?
You had a lot to drink last night. You must have passed out.
I never pass out.
What are you doing in my bed?
I must have passed out.
But the controversy only boosted ratings. People tuned in for the scandal as much as the laughs. It exposed Hollywood's hypocrisy too. The industry loved the sex appeal for viewership, but shied away from real issues like gender pay equality. Don't get me wrong, there was lighter moments amid the mess. The show spun off 2 successful series, The Ropers and Three's a Crowd, and the cast had genuine fun early on. John Ritter was known for his pranks, like hiding props to crack up his co-stars. But the hidden heartbreaks took a toll. Joyce DeWitt dealt with emotional fallout for the feud, later reflecting on how it changed her view of fame. Priscilla Barnes, who joined later, called the set unhappy due to the lingering tensions. Even the landlords wasn't immune. Norman Fell and Audra Lindley left for their spinoff, only to return briefly when it flopped. By the time the show wrapped in 1984, it had lost some steam, partly because of all the cast changes and drama. In the end, Three's Company remains a beloved relic of the 70s and 80s TV, proving that laughter can come from chaos, both scripted and real. But this expose reminds us of the darker side. How a simple ask for fairness can shatter careers, how societal hang-ups can fuel backlash, and how feuds can fester for years before healing. Suzanne Somers, who passed away in 2023, turned her firing into a platform for empowerment, speaking out about pay inequality long before #MeToo. It's a lesson in resilience, but also a stark look at Hollywood's flaws. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay curious and remember, sometimes the biggest mix-ups happen off camera. Until next time in our Exposing Hollywood series.